Hello from downtown Port Charlotte.
Hi, this is Hilde Larson with Dr. Robert Morse again from Newport,
Port Charlotte, Florida.
Port Charlotte, Florida. Yeah.
Exactly. Port Charlotte.
Port Charlotte.
A little town in nowhere place, in a nowhere place called Florida.
Well, it's a beautiful place, and
It is a nice
beautiful
place.
man here that's sitting, helping healing the world, as we know, through spreading the word on the lymphatic system, kidney filtration, general healing,
Did you have fun in class?
regeneration.
Oh,
It was an amazing class
Yeah,
that
I
we
learned.
had doing the level 2 this time. He has a course that I think everybody should attend.
That was fun.
It was a lot of
That
fun.
was serious-minded people.
Yeah.
They're learning. Most of them were already curing people of all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you,
Yeah.
one lady cured herself of paralysis. She had a
Yeah.
bad car accident, or something. Half her body was paralyzed completely. She couldn't walk or nothing. Got on the raw, got on the fruit, got on the herbs, and now she's walking, talking. You couldn't even tell she had a problem. And she had multiple problems. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that there. So
And that's-
exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. You're sitting in class and people are grabbing the microphone. They're telling
my
all sorts of
God.
stories,
Oh, all sorts
of
of
what
stories.
happened
Yeah.
to them. And I think a lot of people, I know that a lot of you want to know testimonials. And that's one thing. But I think it's even more important to experience it for yourself. Because yes, I know you've been, trying to get hold of me. I know you try to get a hold of the office. And it's not easy to give out private information about how can I talk to you that went through this.
Sure.
It's,
Well,
you
the
have,
other problem with the testimonials is
Yeah.
we don't mind giving them.
yeah.
But the FDA went after this one group for putting testimonials up on their
there you go.
website,
Yeah.
and it's like that's a violation of our First
Yeah.
Amendment rights. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to get a strong association. So
Yeah.
when the FDA does something quirky like that
Yeah.
or tries to violate people's rights, we pounce.
Yeah.
We make it so they want to really think before they come after us or try to change herbs for some reason, some stupidity or whatever, when they're in the heat of killing humans.
Yeah.
The FDA is just responsible for the death of these humans to me as the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors that give them. I mean, you got to look at that.
Yeah.
Why are there so many deaths allopathically in this world? More deaths than wars. How can you have a health modality that kills people?
Well, we're introducing chemicals into
Exactly.
the biological body, and we're removing ourselves from nature, trying to create something that is built on greed and money,
There you
and
go.
something without this being about
Exactly.
that, really going in the other direction than
Well, the
healing.
average person is so brainwashed allopathically, they really buy into this that they're trying to find wonder drugs to help save man.
Yeah.
When man wakes up and realizes that's all been a hype to cover up their murderous ways,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds bizarre, but look at the deaths under chemotherapy that would not occur without it.
Yeah.
You can have tumors, big deal, and you're going to survive well. If it's in a bad place, no, because it's going to shut off vital organs, but people will live with tumors all their lives, but you don't live with chemotherapy well.
I know. And the thing is that it's fear driven. So this and this is a great actually approach to the testimonials, and it's a great approach to working from your own power, because if you're searching to get better and you're searching a lot, only through testimonials that you let through, true information like you're spreading, not be included in your life because you're still searching for that proof on the outside
Yeah.
of what works, you're still locked in
Yeah.
that system, and
Yeah.
you're still locked by that fear,
Well,
instead of stepping into it
exactly.
and actually just implementing and doing and letting your heart guide you towards truth and listening to the information that aligns with nature and the
We
God
could go back
force.
to what you said, the mind.
Yeah.
If you really went back to the instrument of conditioning, and the instrument that keeps you from your growth and understanding is your own mind. And that's why we always say get out of your mind, because if you don't stop thinking and get out of these conditioned thoughts, you are locked into their way of thinking. And they have spent a lot of money and time brainwashing you to think that using toxic pharmaceuticals is the only answer, because these diseases are uncurable. No one knows what it's caused, but we're going to find you a wonder or pharmaceutical for that. How would you like that kind of living? Or let us tell you the truth. Let us tell you the science involved in health, what you're doing wrong, why you're creating acidosis, what's that pain, what's that swelling coming from, why do you have systemic fibromyalgia, why do you have paralysis, why do you have a stroke? We tell you that. We show you exactly how that is in chemistry and how to reverse and fix it.
Yeah.
Now, get that as opposed to, we're not sure what those symptoms are, but we can give you some toxic pharmaceuticals for them. It's obviously a immune problem, so it's an autoimmune condition.
That's a big one.
And a big one. So autoimmune condition simply means when anybody says you have an autoimmune condition, when diabetes is autoimmune cancer, it simply is a big statement of we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We don't know what's causing it. We're going to label it for you, and we're going to treat it for you, but we really don't know what's causing it. Would you ever pull your car up to a mechanic like that?
No. And the thing is, that's the reason that you can never find a cure in the medical, because they don't know the cause.
Exactly.
And if you don't treat the cause, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to go through what's called symptom suppression, meaning you're going to numb down the body so it can't talk to you anymore, so that it can't tell you what's going on. And you feel like it's getting better for a short period of time, but you're suppressing the symptoms, so the underlying cause is just getting worse and worse. And I'm a big, great testimonial to that. I stopped all those meds, and then my body could tell me how sick I really was.
Yeah.
I was so sick, I was nearly dead, but I wouldn't have noticed on the drugs,
See, this is probably one of the most important points you're bringing out right now.
Yeah.
People
walking around actually feeling better, and that's a hoax. That's a false
hoax.
That's a false belief. That's a lie. That's a big fat lie.
It is a big fat lie.
Yeah.
And who knows this a lot more, believe it or not, are the younger people.
Yeah.
And the reason is all the skin problems.
Yeah.
They give them steroids and everything else, just like they do everybody else. Antibiotics at first, then the steroids, the chain, the cycle, right? Knowing it doesn't cure them. They know they're not going to cure you. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So you're into that chain, and then you clear up, and then it comes back with a vengeance. I read letter after letter after letter from teenagers, 20-year-olds, even 30-year-olds that have had acne or psoriasis or whatever. And
not only that,
Accutane, all
but
that.
The actual drugs or ointments, they make it worse. Because we're talking steroids.
Exactly.
We're talking, antibiotics. We're talking that which actually brings down your kidneys and adrenals, that which you need to strengthen to feel better.
Exactly.
And let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay,
let's talk about the kidneys and the adrenals, because if you've been following this amazing man, that's one of the key things that he talks about. And I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me again if I can, talk more about the simplicity behind kidney filtration, and then also the, more complex, which would be how long does it take to filter, what's the best way, what's the best diet when you talk about filtration.
I think the fact that we even know kidneys need to filter is a big deal for the particular time on this planet.
Yes.
Because
thank you.
For the medical.
Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't even know this.
Well, it's strange how it was discovered, but what's strange is that when you filter, and this is the thing you have to protect yourself, is that when you begin to filter, when you go allopathically and you have a urinalysis, they're going to say you have an infection. And you do not have an infection. You are moving out your sewage. And that's another thing, the word infection.
Yeah.
What does that mean? See, and this is another big deal, because the word infection is almost, I don't know how to say it, because medical doctors use that to describe acidosis. And when bacteria is involved, they like to blame the bacteria for the problem and call it, you have an infection. Your bacteria, we're going to give you antibiotics, we're going to kill that off. And that'll cure your problem, when many of you know it doesn't. Because it's not bacterial. And a good example would be like cystitis or nephritis or something like that when you have extreme bladder or kidney pain. That isn't bacteria causing pain. Bacteria is after the acids that's causing the pain.
Exactly.
See, and it's quirky.
This is an amazing point. I mean, say that again. This is information that people
need
to know.
When you look at, say, UTIs or anything like that, they're not bacterial.
Nope.
their acidosis.
Yes.
It's the bacteria.
That's why they burn.
It's why they burn. Exactly. I mean, it isn't bacteria burning you and all that.
No.
Hell no. It's chemistry.
Yeah.
It's the acid, metabolitic acids.
Yeah.
These are 3 pH.
Yeah.
It's the bacteria's job to help you break those down a little bit.
I felt that.
Oh yeah.
Physically.
Oh yeah.
Ongoingly.
God,
peeing
oh,
out.
I know
like,
you have.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So believe me, people, this is...
And so you don't pee on your knees at 3 pH.
Mm-hmm.
You have bacterium in the lymph nodes, so you destroy those,
Yeah.
and that's where you get the arthritis. That's where you get the lupuses and
And
the
this
Lyme.
is what the antibiotic does. This
It's what
is
the
another
antibiotics
thing.
does.
People don't know that it's killing
Yeah.
the bacteria within the lymph nodes, which are there to break down acids so that they're not too strong for your body not to be able to eliminate.
Well, the problem with this infectious consciousness is that they destroy the bacteria, but antibiotics are suppressive in nature. It doesn't cure the problem, so all the acids that were there
They go
creating the problem are still there,
deeper.
but even deeper.
Deeper.
Exactly.
That's why they
and
keep
even
coming back.
more piled on, even
Yeah.
more. So now you've killed the bacterium there. They become part of the waste problem. So what have you done? So then here it comes again.
Yeah,
But it's even
exactly,
deeper this
exactly.
time.
That's why people have what they call it reoccurring.
Reoccurrence.
Reoccurrence.
Exactly.
You know, you have the same problem come over and over again. A lot of people are experiences, say, it could be the tonsils, it could be the sinuses, or it could be UTIs, supposedly. And they have the same because that's the weakness. It becomes weaker every time you suppress it.
They could use another word then. Instead of curing, they should use the word in remission. Your UTI is in remission. It's
Yeah.
like your cancers or your tumors or whatever
Yeah.
in remission. Because we burn the holy hell out of your body.
Yeah.
It's shrunk first. When you burn something, it shrinks first.
Yeah.
You know, cook a piece of meat and see what happens. Everything shrinks first. So that's shrinking. Oh, look, you're in remission. Your tumor's smaller.
Yeah.
These guys are playing people like a guitar player, like that guy's playing the
Yeah.
flamingo.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unbelievable,
Yeah.
the joke that these guys are playing on humans and destroying human lives, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Either consciously or unconsciously,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Bad
Doesn't
karma
matter.
for them, but
Yeah.
still, got to wake up to that.
People are getting smarter though.
They are getting
People
smarter
are getting
because
smarter.
the people like you putting it out there,
Right.
we're putting it out there is wake
The
up.
proof is in the pudding. I actually had someone yesterday from a membership site, and she said, you know, what's going on? I've had my coconut water in the morning, I've been drinking orange juice, keeping all fruit, and all of a sudden I'm burning in my bladder and I'm peeing out this thick. What's going on? Am I getting a UTI? Or does this mean
See, right
that I'm
there.
starting to filter?
See
She was
that?
smart.
See that
She was smart.
consciousness, though.
Yeah, but that's what you're taught.
Exactly, it's what you're taught.
Yes.
So she knew what you taught her about
Yeah.
filtration.
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah,
it
exactly.
yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're having her pull that
Yeah.
out of her.
Yeah.
And so she's seeing what caused her.
And that's the
UTI.
challenge for most of you. Even when you start this journey and you go over to living fruits and vegetables, you know, wherever your level you're at, you can't just jump from a sad diet to all fruit. Well, you could, but I wouldn't. Not if I was on my deathbed. I mean, I would do the steps so that the body can catch up. But when you're doing this, you'll notice what we're talking about happening, but the fear comes right in with everything that we've been programmed and learned and conditioned to believe our whole
Oh my
lives.
God.
And that's natural. So there's
Holy
nothing to
crap.
freak out about. You know, it's okay. You just need to pull yourself back to the truth.
Well, why would, if you think about this, okay, so let's just say, hypothetically, you just start on a fruit diet.
Yeah.
Right, you're just going to start eating fruit.
Yeah,
Why would you see symptoms from that?
exactly. Isn't that
See,
the
what
fun part?
exactly? Why would just shifting your diet from meat and potatoes, an acid ash diet,
Yeah.
into an alkaline ash diet,
Yeah.
an energetic alkaline ash diet,
Yeah.
because you just plugged yourself
Yeah.
into
Easy
the
to
highest energy
digest,
of exactly
tastes
easy to
amazing.
digest.
Yeah.
So why would you have any symptoms at all? Would it be fruit is bad for you? That's why you're seeing all these symptoms. Why would you see them?
And even
If there's
more-
nothing there,
And even
why
more
would you see
interesting,
it?
exactly, and even more interesting is the sicker you are, the more symptoms you see from fruit. So there you have this one man that I know that is building his body, working out every day, having a hard labor work. You know, he has one meal a day, eats only fruit, healthy as can be, strong as can be, no symptoms other than having a happy
See.
life. And then you have another person which has a horrific diagnosis, no energy, almost bedridden, can't even do half the day of fruit because there's so many symptoms that come from that.
Yeah.
Yet, you can put both of them on the table, open them up, look exactly the same on the inside, the same processes, except
the toxicity levels and the weaknesses. Exactly. And the guy's doing something about it.
Yeah.
You could take two genetically weakened people.
Yeah.
One is heavily genetically weak cellularly, and the other the same way.
Yeah.
One's eating a standard diet of whatever, and the other's a fruit diet.
Yeah.
The guy, even though he has a lot of genetic weakness, he's going to excel in everything else, and the body's going to start rebuilding genetic weaknesses. This other person is going to keep going down, down. It's just, again, becoming more agglomerated, understanding what, and the beauty of this is there are only two sides of chemistry.
Yeah.
When you look through the world of chemistry, which you have to initially teach your children, there's two sides of chemistry. Children need to understand there's two sides of chemistry.
They know good and bad.
One's burn, good and bad.
They know.
One happy, sad.
Light and dark.
Burn and, burn and cold. I mean, all these things are important to teach the youth because foods have the same effect on you. Yeah. People don't realize that. Foods have the same effect as weather does.
Kids notice.
Kids notice.
They notice. And they get hyper on all that sugar that they know they're fed.
Absolutely do.
Yeah. So it's what's interesting, we'll talk about kidney filtration, and I want to get into that even more since you're the expert on this, is that when I see an eye, and we're talking about genetics, it's, you can have strong genetic makeup, and then you can have not so strong constitution, Now what I see is if you have a lot of mucus or stagnant lymph in your body with a strong constitution. I'm saying this, people, because no two people are alike, and people come and always ask, what did you do? Then I can do the same, and I'll see the same results in the same amount of time. Yeah. Like, no, because if you have a strong constitution and you have a lot of lymph, then your strong constitution most likely is going to give you more detoxification power, meaning your glands and organs are stronger, so you can tackle the detox differently and most likely even filter quicker than if you're on the opposite, that you have a weaker genetic makeup. Then it's going to take longer, and you have to go slower. So there's a lot of factors that come into that, but still people are sitting and they're wondering, what do I do to get my kidneys to filter? Dr. Morse.
Good question.
What do I do?
The universal question, there's two universal questions. One is, how do I get my kidneys filtering? Yeah. And then how do I know if both of them are? Yeah. So the last one is we have no clue because two kidneys dump into one bladder. Yeah. So that's a problem.
Well, it would be looking at the symptoms maybe if it was.
If one side of the body would be. That would be the only way, really. When you can see inflammation. You can see. If you had tumors on both sides, you could tell which side's filtering better. Yeah. How fast the tumors are going down, that sort of thing. Basically, you could look at that. Yeah. And that's a strange question because in terms of filtration, people are talking about dates. Yeah. Eating dates help you filter better. Yeah. One guy was telling me every time he has chips and salsa, he filters.
That's an interesting
thing. Some people go on fruit and stop filtering temporarily. Yeah. It's like a woman that goes on a fruit diet or detox and she stops her period. Understandable when you realize why the body shuts down non-vital functions.
Yeah. And I see that as, so it's very easy for the human mind again to wrap around this as something that needs to be, like success. It doesn't happen in a straight line. It goes like this, And it seems to me the body's working of layers and layers and layers.
I think
I saw,
I've always said that.
It took me 3 years to filter, Dr. Morse. It took me 3 freaking years
to filter. And it's hard for me but you were at a chronic.
And a lot of people are.
Level. Yeah, I know.
And those are the people that are discouraged and that can't get themselves out of it because they feel they should be getting better. For me, to tell you just one thing about that is, and you will, but there's one key. You can't stop. See, that's the thing. You can't ever stop. That's what I didn't do. I just kept on going, and that's the key. We have this misalignment with time and this information.
Yeah, exactly, and misinformation. So what are we doing for the process of filtration? Yeah. Hydration's number one. When you start on any program of wellness, the first step is hydration, and the reason is any symptom that you have is 9.99999% acidosis.
Isn't that interesting, huh?
So acidosis is dehydrating you.
Yeah.
It's like someone goes out and runs, say 30 miles or something, and you're looking for water to hydrate.
Yeah.
So some people try to hydrate on Gatorade, a good example. Well, Gatorade is a dehydrator, not a rehydrator. Its pH is 2.65 or whatever it is, way down there, but below Coke.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
what?
Below Coke even.
Below Coke.
Wow.
Coke is about 2.9. Pepsi's a little
So it's a toilet cleaner.
It's basically a toilet cleaner.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. It's close to hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting
Broke down
down
the car.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how these logarithms, these 10 pH differences, but can make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Between a 4 pH and a 3 pH,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of difference in pain and stuff like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So you look at, for example, most systemic acids, metabolitic acids
Yeah.
from the cells are 3,
Yeah.
right? Well, chemo's 2 or less.
Yeah. Steroids.
So that's only 10 times hotter.
Wow.
So they're giving you 10 times hotter chemistry than the chemistry that's hurting you, and they don't realize that. It's like that chemist I talked about who thinks that man's problem is alkalosis.
Yeah.
Well, what in the
Wow.
world, where in the world of chemistry could you draw that conclusion? Because there is no conclusion you could draw out of that.
We're acidic by design,
You're acidic just by nature, by the very nature of metabolism,
Yeah.
the very nature of all the cycles, the
Yeah.
cribs and everything, but
Yeah.
the very nature of the spin-off of these, you're constantly creating acids. So to somehow move this into an alkalosis thing is ignorant as all get out, in my opinion.
And then the hydration.
And then the hydration.
Yeah.
So hydration is uno number one, and I think as the kidneys become agglomerated, a word of dehydration, meaning everything is getting hardened
Yeah.
and swelling.
Yeah.
And so kidneys swell up, everything swells up.
Yeah.
So the first thing you notice is that when you go on a hydrating diet, that's a fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables, everything starts going down. You start getting looser. Stiffness comes out of you. And that's because acidosis is a dehydrator.
I was going to say, and see, because a lot of people, they look at hydrating as how much water can I drink in a day on top of my eggs and my meat and everything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's very, very important to be clear that we're talking about hydration on a cellular level. We're not talking about adding more fluids necessarily to the body. And there is nothing more hydrating than detoxifying the acids out, because that's the cause of dehydration.
Yeah, exactly.
So people need to understand that it's not about drinking more, it's about getting the acids out and then introducing good water, alkalizing water, so you can get hydrated on a
Well, that's
cellular
another
level,
thing.
right?
If you were going to do distilled water,
Yeah.
is distilled water hydrating? And the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
So you have to look at that. If
Yeah.
you want to hydrate, you have to be on the alkaline side of chemistry.
Yeah.
And water, as its very nature, is acidic.
So
I
that's
know,
the thing.
but minor
Yeah.
acid. You
Yeah.
got your minor acids.
Yeah.
And your minor acid like that's what makes it a universal solvent.
Yeah.
But it's not a major acid. So it's like estrogen. These are minor acids that are not there to damage the body. Why would God make an acid to damage the body? But acids from metabolism obviously have to be eliminated. So the focus has to be on the eliminative organs. Are you eliminating that which you're creating?
Exactly.
And that's the whole point of the body. So when you see swelling and tumors, the question of that is no.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have a swelling, you wouldn't have a tumor, you wouldn't have a cyst or boil or pimple if you were eliminating that, if you were keeping pace with the chemistry you're consuming, and you would be eliminating the byproducts of the utilization of that chemistry, along with the poo-poo byproducts, the digestive products.
Yeah.
Because you have two things to eliminate, digestive waste and cellular waste.
Yeah. And the way I look at it when it comes to water, because people study water now because there are so many options.
Yeah.
You have the spring water, you have the high pH, low pH distilled. To me, it seems that the more hydrated you become within, interstitially, the less water you will ever crave.
Well, that's the point.
You'll crave the fruit juices, or the juices from just eating, like a high water
You and I
fruit
are
diet.
thinking on the same universal
Yeah,
mind.
and that's the whole thing. It's water to me. That's why I ended up with distilled for the little piece of water that I ever had, just because that was H2O period. Because what I saw from drinking more alkaline water, I left it in my mug, and all that was sitting there was a lot of calcium. It was rock minerals.
Well,
I mean
that's and these are inorganic too.
and they're inorganic, and you're gunning them down into your body. And I looked at that mug, and I'm like, heck no, I'm not going to put this into my body.
Well, that was the thought of why distilled, was getting away from inorganic minerals and things like that. Low electrical charges.
But you can add some lemon and something to the distilled and kind of get some
and bring
vitality in there, bring it up, the pH a little bit.
Well,
but do it organically. Do it with minerals that the body can actually absorb and utilize.
So hydration is number one, right?
Okay, big one.
So that one, I think, when you add hydration, and to hydrate, you're going to look for foods that are alkaline dominant, electrolyte dominant. Because hydration is where you take the electrons out of the orbit of an electrolyte and you pull them over to a proton to neutralize it. It's ionization, and it's just a fact of chemistry. So what's amazing to me is the unawareness around that whole thing, and around the diets and acidosis and things like that, because it would be easy to understand if you do not eliminate metabolitic waste, what that would be like. But if you don't understand the lymph system, and you're only preoccupied with one fluid, the blood, and you think that fluid does everything, then you're as ignorant as the sky is purple.
There's a lot of people out there still talking about how the blood is carrying around all this waste.
It's ironically stupid.
Yeah.
Ironically stupid. And now that the universities, the good schools are finding the lymphatic systems in the brain and stuff, now, and I was reading that take from that PhD or professor from Rochester, really has it. He just has it right on. He really gets it. The lymphatic system is there to remove debris, and defining debris as metabolitic waste right on.
Yeah. So this is information that has been out here for a while, and what he's been talking about is just coming more and more into quotation by people. They're finding it, but we're why we need to we need to be way ahead of this. Because we can't sit around and wait for science, and that's the other thing.
You can't. No,
we are trained to wait for science. Again, you're looking outside yourself to find an authority that can tell you.
The spiritual people bring the truth to the planet first, then the scientific community eats on it, and then the other people eat on it.
Yeah. But the true science is always in doing, observing, experimenting, and drawing a conclusion. And what's the conclusion? When you see people walk back into your, into your life, and they say, "I used to be in a wheelchair," that's what we're looking for.
And then explain that.
Yeah.
See, it's not enough to say, "Okay, there's a Lou Gehrig's case," and we've demonstrated many of them who were modeled, who weren't talking or singing or walking, and they were walking and singing and stuff like that. Why? How did we do it?
That's the interesting
And that's what's interesting to me. Not a medical doctor. There was a couple. Have asked me, how'd you do it? They don't care. They go, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's it? Because if you're a true physician and your concern is humans and animals and whatever, then you're going to want to know how. Like if you're having success over there, I'm going to go, Hilde, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What's your secret? Because we're all together as one practitioner. We're like one healer working on everybody. And we want to work as one. But the allopathic has to tear us down and call us all kinds of names, and yet they have nothing there that's based on any facts whatsoever. Can't explain high blood pressure, can't explain any of the simplistic things that people are suffering.
Talk about, and the kidneys, the blood pressure.
Talking about the right at the kidneys. Everything is in their face. Everything is right in their face, and they can't see it. That's because the mind, when you train this mind of yours to think and to understand certain things, you're locked to that. That's why I keep teaching. Get out of your mind, get out of thoughts, because they're conditioned. If you want to see truth, pull back. Mind is not consciousness, so pull back and
just listen with your heart, and don't be afraid to try. That's my biggest message.
Exactly. Don't be afraid
to try. You
to
need to actually try it. If you think it's too hard, give it a try.
Eating a few fruit is too hard to save your life.
There's nobody putting any snake oil in front of you and saying, eat or drink this.
It's not like we're saying eat this snake oil. We're saying eat fruits and berries and melon.
What do you think about this pineapple? That's what we're saying. Or this mango, or this star fruit, or this, the cherries. And we all love them. It's just that we're so conditioned to thinking they're bad. And I know why some people even experience that. Why? Because you put them on top of all the crap that you're putting in your body. So it sits and it ferments, and you get all these issues. And then you blame the fruit. you know, and it's
Well-
not the fruit, it's all the crap. The same thing with the, you know, with the body, what we're talking about, the lymphatic system. It's not per se your body that's not feeling well. It's that all the crap is still in
Well, it's
there.
just what you said about fermentation. I mean, some people love their food fermented.
Exactly.
They love yogurts, they
I
ferment
know.
their mushrooms, they
I
do all this
know.
fermentation.
Why
It's
would you do that?
Why would you do that? Your food is going down to the other side of life, so it's
Yeah.
becoming more acidic.
Yeah.
You know, acids is the final
It's
stages
death.
of life.
It's death.
It's death, and it's like Jensen was that way. You know, I was visiting him one day, and I before I got there, I found these beautiful strawberries, ripe and delicious, and I brought it to him, and
Ooh,
he goes, "Oh, thank you so much. I'll sit it out on the porch and let them ripen." I said, "No, doctor, they're already ripe."
Yeah.
And he walked me out on his
Yeah.
porch, and he had a bunch of strawberries there that were, you know,
Yeah.
dying
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah.
He says, "That's how I like them." But then he farted all the time.
Exactly.
Passed gas all
Yeah.
the time. And it's like, really? I mean, you're eating all your food fermented already. Or
And
fermented,
that's the
and it's like, what?
misconception. That's why they do it. They think they're going to get more of the bacteria
That, I
into
know!
their intestinal tract.
And that's fungus
than-
too.
Exactly.
Oh.
And they're putting it through the mouth, thinking that when they get to their butt end or
Yeah.
the colon, then there's going to sit all this nice bacteria down there that came through this rotting process, because that's what it is.
It
when
is.
something ferments.
It is,
And,
basically.
and people
Well,
don't even talk about every
huge factory.
fruit, you know. Yeah. Every fruit is filled
Yeah.
with the bacteria. Your body will make the perfect.
It's so hard
Amount.
for me to understand why man struggles with what type of diet he's designed to eat, because the design is obvious.
Oh, it's
Homo
obvious.
sapien design is so obvious. It's like,
It's
okay, so you're
persistent.
getting a hang up on that? Like, you think we're designed to eat
Yeah.
piece of kale
no,
over
they
a
don't.
navel orange?
They just want the
They
kale.
just want the kale.
And then they
because there's
want
no
the meat,
way.
they want the kale, they want
Exactly.
the bear, and they're
Exactly.
defending
Exactly. Let's get it down
their
to it.
belief systems. Like, this is what I believe, and I'm sticking to it.
Mhm.
Because I'm defending my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you're defending your illness. You're defending your
Exactly.
pain, your bloating, your headaches. I mean, that's what we're defending, and that's what I want the message to be
Exactly.
about. That there is a solution, and it's not hard, but it will require you actually doing it, and it's only as hard as your mind
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
going to tell you or
It's
not.
just trying to change. And
Yeah.
that's not, you said it right. You said the key word is mind.
Yeah.
So if everybody gets to the key word is your mind,
Yeah.
do you use it or does it use you?
Exactly.
You know, and the average person lets their own mind use them, even though they allowed the conditioning of it.
And you're
So
not
it-
the mind. The mind is just thoughts. You can control. You can decide which thoughts you want to think.
Exactly. You don't have
You're
to.
the thinker.
You can put the mind out here and let
Yeah.
the mind think over here while you're the
Yeah.
observer of the thought. Even, you know, it can get high levels of what
Yeah.
you can do if you
I know.
play with that and learn what you're doing. But it's like the diet the same way. All we're saying is simplicity. Understand that.
Yeah.
Man's suffering falls on the acid side of chemistry. There's only two sides. By changing your diet to a diet that's designed for the human, it is astringent. So we're hydrating and astringing. We're
Yeah.
hydrating and pulling on
So
tissue.
astringent means pulling. That
It's
you're
like, yeah,
pulling.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we want to hydrate and astringe, and so, but the eliminative organs have to be open to eliminate. In other words, if you don't sweat, how do you get
Exactly.
rid of the waste through the skin?
So which are the eliminative organs?
Yeah,
For those
skin
that don't
and the
know?
two kidneys. But
And
any hole,
yeah, any hole.
hole,
So
you'll
the
get how it's
digestion,
well, that's
the
good,
lungs,
but still,
or-
lungs,
yeah.
nose,
Yeah.
belly button, vaginal.
everything.
People leak through their toenail, between their toes.
Yeah.
I mean, under the breast you leak.
Yeah.
I mean, these are where you see all this cottage cheese stuff. You see all this stuff coming out. That's acids.
Oh my God.
If you look at Dr. Pimple Popper,
Yeah.
look at her open up
Oh,
a
the
tumor,
fungus.
cottage
Oh.
cheese. Tonsil stones, cottage cheese.
Yeah.
What is this? Acids. These are
Yeah.
proteins that everybody loves so much, and
know.
they smell like it.
Yeah.
You know,
So changing the diet to the diet you're designed to eat, hydrating, which will be a natural effect of changing your
Natural
diet.
effect.
You know, and that's all you can do for kidney filtration. Well, you can support your kidneys with herbs.
astringe them, hydrate them, and use the herb. And then you
use
bring
the
up
herbs.
another thing. Why do we use botanicals? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Why you? No,
Yeah.
they're not designed for diseases. Man
Yeah.
made up. You got to realize.
Yeah.
The allopathic community made this concept up, not God.
Yeah.
But you can argue that man being, you
Even
know,
the animals
by
use the
aspect-
herbs.
yeah.
The animals use the herbs as well.
Oh, absolutely. Body parts.
Yeah.
There's herbs for the heart, herbs for the kidneys, herbs
Isn't
for
that
the
amazing?
It doesn't matter. It's not herbs for nephritis. It's herbs for the kidney function, structure function. And if you understand that, that's why we give them to you, to assist the structure function of those cells within those tissues, period. Or we do have herbs for fluids. Remember, blood group, pull a tumor right out of your body.
Yeah.
So we've got those.
That's for the advanced.
Yeah.
Like, don't try this at home. Don't go buying, blood.
Don't go
and
black.
just go-
Don't buy black.
No, don't put black salve all over your face. No.
Some
And that's
people
another
have.
thing. That's another thing. I mean, people are watching and they want to do this, and they can do this, and everybody can do that alone. But you can also do it with support. But if you're going to do it alone, I have this to tell you: educate yourself a little bit, watch videos, read books. Step
read
into
books.
step into it and
not
take
into-
responsibility.
Exactly. There's so many good books.
Yeah.
I look at some of these naturopathic programs, and they just suck. Go back to the natural hygienic community. Go back to all these incredible docs that paved the way of natural health. And use those books instead of medical people or Dr. Wilder.
The
people that
older
have no
ones, I would say,
clue
like
about
the
it.
older ones,
books are
before all of this came in.
Absolutely.
Those that were more
Absolutely.
clear, connected.
more clear and much
Yeah.
more. Back then you had a lot of A-types like Jensen who just tore it apart. They wanted to know. They tore it apart through chemistry, physics. They tore it
Even
apart.
effort that started with the mucus,
There you go.
we're all walking in that
Aware.
direction. Yeah.
Very awake
Yeah.
starting that.
Yeah.
That how come when you detox you always get mucus out?
Yeah.
And then you realize that the mucus comes from the mucosa, and the mucosa is part of the lymphatic system. And the mucus is produced when you consume foreign protein, and dairy is one of the most foreign proteins to the body. It's like majorly no. People immediately get congested by doing them, but still like to do them.
And that's the lymphatic system.
That's the lymphatic system. You can drink a malt and get a cold and flu-like symptom. Well, how did that? Mucus. And of course, what comes out in a cold and flu-like symptom? Mucus.
Yeah.
So he was instrumental in pointing out the fact that the body produces mucus in fighting or in fighting up against foreign chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think that, and then of course that explains everything.
And I think that's a big word, like foreign. What are we doing with everything that's foreign?
Yeah.
Go into the store, and if you're wondering what to eat, I mean, if it has a label that has a list of ingredients, and it's put into a box or a jar or into a,
Most of them are foreign to your body. Foreign means that chemistry is going to embrace you and your body loves it. Most of that's alkaline chemistry. But a lot of these proteins and things, the body just doesn't want them in there, and you don't realize that you have an immune response to them. And that immune response is called inflammation.
So when people are having what they look at as allergies, for example, could you explain a little bit what that is?
Yeah, that's the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
And you notice the more your lymphatic system, that's your immune system, the one you can tie it to.
Yeah.
The more backed up you are with that, you can get allergic to everything on the planet. You can get allergic to peanuts, everything. You get allergic to everything. I have some people that can't even do water hardly,
Yeah.
And it's just lymphatics. Clean your immune or lymphatic system, get your kidneys filtering, and you won't have any.
And the allergies will go.
Your allergies will all go away. It just shows you your cup is getting full, it's starting to run over.
So basically what you see is when people start filtering, they are dumping more, interstitial waste, lymphatic waste,
Definitely.
and then their symptoms, their inflammation,
Well,
their pain.
you can understand when your body gets full of chemistry, it can't handle that type of chemistry anymore. You're going to have a response to it. Don't give me any more.
Yeah.
And it's just that way. Whether it's a protein out of a peanut or whatever, it's telling you we cannot handle this chemistry anymore because our system is backed up.
Yeah.
And the inflammatory response is going to be marginal to this. And so that impacts the body with more acids.
Yeah.
It's all in your survival of the human form.
Exactly.
But
the body's pretty amazing at holding on
Damn
to so much
amazing.
shit.
And still keep on ticking.
Yeah, people are still standing.
I know, amazing.
A
I'm
lot
amazed.
of people are not. Well, that's another thing in our society.
Exactly.
We're so used to not feeling 100%, we think it's normal.
Exactly.
We think it's how it should
don't
be.
know
Like,
what
I am healthy, but I'm wearing glasses. I have ringing in my ears. Oh yeah, my hip is, acting up every winter, and I have gastritis, and then I'm
And
blood
this
medication.
tumor on my back.
Oh yeah.
But I feel good.
I'm fine. It's normal to have something. No, it's not normal. It's common, but common sense doesn't make it normal.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Things
Like
are
common practice is not common sense.
Exactly. That's
Common
a good one. You need to write that one down. Common practice is not common sense. As a rule, it's actually opposite of that.
Yeah.
Common practice is a conditioned practice that is somebody's making money off of
And
your
that's
thinking.
exactly, and that's why a lot of people are, brought into this normality as if I can't find what you're talking about in here in the normal, it can't be the truth. And it's quite the opposite. Because you're looking in the pain box,
Also, you realize this is the drama, this is the movie, and so God has to keep itself here. So the more you get lost, the better the drama.
Yeah, I know. And
it's
and
like,
when they
no, I want to be free from the drama.
I know. Freedom. And
we
freedom
can play
is
the drama, but be free from the drama.
But freedom is the ability to make choices.
Oh yeah.
And we all have that. So we're all free in that sense. Every day you wake up, you can choose how you want to feel about that day, how you want to think about that day, what you want to do. Most of the time you can decide what you want to eat, at least within of what you have to choose from. Absolutely. And you can always choose the best of what you have, because that's another thing. People sit around and they think they have to be in Costa Rica drinking coconut water every day that's going to fall on their head. That's not the case. I was in freaking Norway and it's so cold in winter and there's little fruit, but you can always do it. And why did I do it? Because my why was big enough. My eagerness to get better was big enough. My enthusiasm towards life was big enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but you have to know your why. So people can want to do a lot of different things. But if you don't have a why that's going to drive you, once that you get to the first hump, you're going to be sucked right into the victimhood and have so many stories on why you can't do it that,
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, you have to have a big why.
Exactly.
Yeah, people feel like victims. It's because of my mother, father, it's because of the money situation, my living situation, the country that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm too sick. Yeah. I'm too
Those are the negative
lonely.
thinkers first,
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you're a negative thinker first, try to work yourself out of it, because your life is never good and no one around you enjoys that either. When you're around someone, it's always negative first. I lived with someone a lot of years with that, and it's like,
I know.
After a while, it's like, no. If you're ever positive, you always should look at the positive things of life first, always, Try to work out of that negative thing, because, absolutely.
Show gratitude to what's there already.
Exactly.
So if one part of your life kind of sucks right now, and that's okay to kind of recognize that, because if you don't recognize that, you're not going to find the will to get better. So that's okay. But there's always something that's very good, and there's always something you can show gratitude towards. There's always someone you can forgive. There's always,
The fact that you have awareness. I mean, one has to look at that. If you suffer, that's karma. Fix it. You can fix it. We brought to you, to this planet, the ways to fix yourself.
Yeah.
So you can fix yourself.
Yeah.
So it's the way the master is helping this planet undo its karma. All you souls have the ability to do this, right? Because in the advent of getting raw and all this, not only are you releasing acids as you're hydrating, you have to have self-discipline.
Yes.
So pulling yourself into the now, into self-discipline, actually pulls you behind your mind and emotions. And of course, on the raw, it soothes the emotions and stuff, because it's calming and quieting. Oh yeah.
What you've been holding on to, the
Exactly.
emotional detoxification. I even made a course. It's called Emotional Detoxification.
There you go.
Because
there you go.
There's a big, and this leads me back to the kidneys, which is, we're talking about kidney filtration. Kidneys represent fear. There's a lot of fear stored in the kidney that is not, optimized. And I'm thinking, there's a lot we can do just going inwards in meditation, sending light to our kidneys, releasing fear, that will help them heal. That's another tool that we haven't talked about that much.
Well, exactly. That's the one.
And I think a lot of people are ready to...
Well, okay, so if you got into the fact that chemistry is energy.
Yeah.
Right? If you got into physics and you said,
Yeah.
okay, when we look at chemistry, we're
Yeah.
looking at frequencies of electromagnetic energy, right? We were talking
Yeah.
about this before.
Yeah.
And that in quantum physics, they've defined then a little further that energy, these electromagnetic energies would come together as energy. And energy has awareness. Well, for physics to come out and quantum that energy has awareness is that leap from the physical mundane into consciousness or awareness. So in your growth, in terms of the food you're eating and what it takes to have self-discipline, you're expanding your energy and your consciousness and your awareness. And so in doing that, you're becoming more awake, more alive, and you're beginning to look and control things. Your emotions are beginning to detox out. You're getting more mature whether you want to allow yourself to become emotionally involved or not. And is it worth the karma with that? Can you love more if you're not emotionally attached to someone? Absolutely can. Your love, your compassion is much deeper when you're not attached or you're not bonded to someone because of your shortcomings. Yeah, you have to free
Mind over matter as
mind
well,
over matter
when it comes to your
exactly.
physical
And
body.
so when you open up to your higher consciousness, that energy is flowing through your body.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is flowing through your cells.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is uplifting everybody involved.
Talk about alkalinity, you know.
Yeah, talk about alkalinity.
But still, see, this is another interesting point. That will also lead to detoxification on the physical level. You know, when you start working with yourself, moving energy like that, bringing more light in, it's still, the chemistry of the body is still, seems to me, still going to have to go through the earthly processes.
Oh, yeah, it has to.
You know, so you're still gonna go through the, you know, the elimination of those acids. But it's just, I think there should be awareness that we're powerful, that we're not, you know, just a body that eats something or takes something and then everything happens. That the emotional and the connection with self is huge when it comes to healing.
Well, some of what we're saying is where the secret of life is.
Yeah.
Because you're getting into what is life, period. And when you break it, the structure down, you break it down, break it down, you break it down to the atomic structure, subatomic structure, subnanos and all that, you're still coming back to one thing, and that is awareness.
Yeah.
So when you strip away the body, you strip away acid, you strip away everything, there's one thing that still exists, and that is the omnipresence, the omnipotent and omniscient awareness of the being, the creator of all things, which is where you come from, where we all come from, where all life comes out of that essence. So in what you were saying, you have to look at this, because when you're playing in creation, you're playing with two forces. So those are on the negative side, you're going to feed yourself acidosis. Negative thoughts,
This is
negative
the point that I
things
wanted
are
to get to.
acidic.
Yeah.
And then you have the positive side, which is alkaline. If you want to be free and enjoy and understand that who created you, you don't want to be positive or negative, because that's creation. If you identify with creation, that's your experience. If you'll pull back and become detached, you will be outside of creation. That's another level of awareness.
And I also look at that as surrendering.
Absolutely.
It's a surrendering.
Let go.
We're holding on.
Let go.
Yeah.
Thoughts,
when
let
you
go of
really
emotions.
let go and then just kind of lean back. When you lean back, we had this exercise being younger. You have to trust. That's you know that something's going to catch you when you kind of you know when you were children. We
Hopefully
had that.
somebody's going to.
Yeah. So you kind of have this exercise that you're doing it with someone that you trust, and you fall. And that's what you need to do with your whole life. You need to fall and trust that it's going to be okay. To totally surrender to what is, and it brings up the now moment, like what we were talking about.
Totally.
All of that happens in the now. The awareness is it's the now.
Totally.
The more you're in the now, the more aware you'll be.
Well, it is. You know, and the ironic thing is what you're saying, when you let go of these self, and you let go of these lower forms of the thoughts and desires and things.
Yeah.
Guess who you meet? Yourself.
Yes. And that's a big one, because
That's
a lot
big
of
one.
people, it's the one person they don't want to meet. It's their self.
Exactly. Get the movie Circle of Iron
Yes.
by Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee wrote a movie, The Circle of Iron, and David Carradine plays the master. And view that one, and it'll show you exactly what the seeker of God ends up finding.
And that's
He was
why you
way ahead
always
of his
talk
time.
about
Yeah.
spending time alone. And that's another
Exactly.
thing. There's great healing in being alone. And a part of any deep healing journey, most likely you will be led to feeling and being alone in that aloneness. I know I was. You know, first comes the loneliness.
You don't want to be
that
around.
You think, that you feel that you're, because you don't feel enough. That's just a symptom of you not feeling enough in yourself, or that you don't want to look at yourself, so you're turning away and you're feeling this loneliness. But being alone is different. Being alone means that you can sit with yourself and realize that you are all there is, and you are everything that you will ever need, ever.
And you don't have to do like Buddha and sit 17 or 20 years down there. You can just do it every now and then.
Exactly.
But find yourself a closet, find yourself a place where only you exist there.
Just make like a little sacred
your own
corner of your
temple.
bedroom, whatever. Yeah, little place where you have
Your
some
man
nice
or
maybe
woman
you can have
cave,
a
your
light,
temple.
whatever. Yeah, doesn't have to be much.
No. Shania Twain had her little woman cave, but she was a Radha-swami. So she needed that peace and that time into the self.
Taking the you time. That's another thing. That's the one. Okay, so we're talking about the kidney filtration. I'm bringing it back to I find another one. The adrenals. Now, the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys, like you've been telling us, and they control the kidneys. Now, what are the adrenals? They are anxiety and, I would say, lack of self-love, due to a lot of the time upbringings where trauma, critique, criticism, feeling unloved, uneasy, and
self-love.
Yeah,
this is where all this comes from. Low thyroiders have no self-love,
no sense. And self-expression.
Sort of right.
They have no
emotions, adrenals.
Yeah,
and that's one of the problems.
Or the traumas.
Yeah, but it's neurological.
Yeah,
right. Remember, the adrenals controls the autonomic, so breathing.
Yeah,
heart rate. I mean, heart, not rate, but heart.
So breathing. That's interesting, because I talk to my clients about that. Asthma. It's not lung. It's adrenals.
It's adrenals.
Yeah.
Your COPD, they don't realize that. Yeah. I wonder how many medical doctors realize that.
Yeah.
When you're talking congestive, you're talking simple things like
COPD, stuff like that.
Well, congestive would be pneumonia.
Congestive,
But when you have congestive and neurological, now you're into the COPDs. Asthma is the lowest one. And you can't breathe out. That's neurological.
Yeah.
And so adrenals are neurological, and so the anxieties come in, breathing comes in, all of those. What about the utilization of the heart? What about utilization of minerals?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Right, you have iron deficiency, or you got anemia, you have low iron. Oh, I got to take something for my liver. Do you really? Well, how do you utilize iron? Goes back to the adrenals, the utilization of chemistry. What about blood sugars? The utilization of chemistry, even anemic. Sugars.
Yeah. I was anemic.
Blood pressure. You were anemic.
I was anemic. I was anemic for most of my adult life. I was so anemic, and I was taking even like the beet juices on top of course the chicken and the milk, and I was having the regular diet, but I was doing all of this to get more iron into my body, not knowing that it had to do with utilization, absorption.
Exactly.
And now I eat only fruits, and I have higher levels on all iron counts, ferrin, hemoglobin, than I have ever had.
Yep. Because you're fixing that which is weak in you.
Exactly.
And what you alluded to, realize the physical body is a food processor, a chemistry processor, breaking complex to the simplistic, digestion, absorption, utilization, and the proper elimination of the waste involved in this process.
And we get to regeneration.
Then you got the regeneration. And that's a cool thing. Well, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's funny, this planet doesn't see that much because you have autopathic control.
We see it, but we see it. Why aren't people more excited about that?
Well, because you can't regenerate on pharmaceuticals. You can't regenerate when you're treating diseases and you live in the phantom world of diseases and the darkness of that, and the bacteria is going to rip you apart and all this. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's a dark world of fear and pain and anxiety and death.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that needs to be kind of taken to the dumpster right now.
And we're so afraid of dying, we're not even living, because we're
when you came here, you were on your way out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I know.
It's the lack of understanding that death is simply moving your attention.
Running after our own lives.
Of the whole thing.
Stress. So that's another thing. When you talk about kidney filtration, go after the stress in your life. Go after the stressors.
Definitely.
Give yourself some adrenal love. And that's calm. Meditate more. Spend more time alone.
Love those adrenals.
Listening to the nature sounds. Go for a walk outside. That's, I think, also a big one, to get your kidneys to filter faster.
Get flowers.
Yes.
Flowers. You like beautiful flowers.
Smell them. You know, it's the same.
Yes.
You know,
Yep,
stop and
yep,
smell
yep,
the flower.
But
That's-
dry fast if
yeah.
you can't get your kidneys any
There you
other
go.
way, dry fast. I don't
There you
care,
go.
24, 36, 48, dry fast.
I
Keep
agree.
working. Get those kidneys filtering, meaning when you pee in a jar, you see sewage, you see sediment in your urine, it's not clear. You pee in a jar and you see clear urine, you're in trouble.
Most people do.
Most people do.
And it could look like anything, right, Doc? It could look like particles.
Particles.
That's filtration. It can be cloudy.
Well,
That's filtration. It
now,
can be stringy.
now labs are adding mucus threads to your analysis. So if you see mucus threads, I wonder what they think you do about them.
Oh, antibiotics, probably.
Probably.
Must be an
Oh, you got
infection.
mucus threads in your urine. You need antibiotic.
They should.
I mean,
I've been thinking I
oh.
should bring them some of the
Oh,
jars
Lord.
or pictures that I have on my filtration.
Oh,
and say, what do you think this is?
What do you
Doc?"
think this is?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Run her to the ICU.
Yeah,
Give her
yeah,
vancomycin.
yeah. Get her
and
admitted.
Get her admitted right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
She's dying.
Yeah.
She's an infection from head to toe.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
well, they killed that one guy of ours, you know, because he went in.
Oh.
He was feeling just feeling really low adrenal day, or
Yeah,
really
yeah,
down.
yeah.
They did a urinalysis, blood work.
Yeah.
They found he was filtering.
Yeah.
They rushed him to ICU,
Oh,
claimed he
my.
had a major systemic infection, gave him vancomycin, he died from it. And his wife even was there watching the whole thing, and we were on the phone. I was telling his wife, get him out of there, they're going to kill him, that's not an infection. She says, I know, he's filtering, isn't he? And I said, he's filtering.
Yeah.
That's the stupidity. Be careful who you trust to give you toxic and deadly chemicals. Be careful that you
And again,
know what you're
just
doing.
start implementing,
Implementing.
because you'll know for yourself. You know, when you start eating better, when you change your diet, when you start loving your adrenals, when you hydrate, you know, when you do all of this that we've been talking about, then you'll see for yourself. You just check your urine and see what happens.
Remember, you pregnant mothers,
Yeah.
if you're not filtering, neither
Yeah.
is baby.
Yeah.
And that's why we got the tumors in our babies, moms. We've
Yeah.
got to get you filtering, understand this, and have good, healthy babies, because I'm telling
Yeah.
you, we got baby problems.
When I
all
grew up,
over.
we didn't even know what asthma was. Nobody in our class had anything. And now,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
my granddaughter's class, second grade, there are girls without hair
Oh, I believe that.
because
Oh,
they
no, I tell you
have
right
chemo
now.
and all of
it
this is
just
going
makes you
on.
sick to
This
your
is
friggin'
how this
stomach.
world is
Oh yeah,
right
this
now.
world is in chaos.
Yeah,
The negative forces have dominated for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
But we're here.
yeah,
So death is only the movement of awareness from one structure to another.
yeah.
The death of the bodies are going to always be, because you can't move the physical body outside of the realm of the physical world. We need your atoms anyway to make new bodies. So, you know, we're in the atom and rearrangement game
Yeah.
here. I've always said that. You know,
So you can't take it that serious.
Can't
and you
take
just
it. Can't take the
can't give
atoms
a
with
damn
you.
about everything
Exactly.
either.
I want to take my atoms with me.
I know.
Do
And I
you
haven't.
really?
I had a video on YouTube which I called "Stop Giving a Damn,"
Exactly.
because we care about too much
Exactly.
stuff.
I love that
Like,
one. I
get
love that
better
one.
and get well, and don't care about what your neighbor think. You're this and that, and who's doing this and that. Who cares? Just take care of your own house.
Exactly.
Take care of
If you
your
care
own
about
body.
anything,
and
care
then
about the self.
be the best you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, when you're healing yourself, you're actually healing the world. If everybody just healed themselves,
Exactly.
imagine how this world would be. Because, you know, people in pain, they're the abusive ones.
Yeah.
People that are suffering, they're making other people suffer. People that are happy and healthy, they spread love.
Exactly. You notice that?
Yeah.
Look at our group.
Yeah.
And this class was the best class.
Yeah.
And it's more serious-minded.
Yeah.
And so even though there was, 160 people there or whatever,
amazing.
everybody was serious-minded. They were at their round tables working together.
Yes.
They're just a beautiful class.
Yeah.
Every way.
You had it set
Questions
up a
were
little
right
differently,
on.
and that was nice. They were sitting at
Well,
tables
because
doing more
I've
work
always wanted
together,
round-
hands-on.
Well, because this is a hand-on workshop.
Yeah.
When you go to level one, it's not a round
It's
table,
more
except
like a
toward the
class
end of
where
it.
it's- Yeah.
But so we don't. It's hard to set that up in round
Yeah, I
table
like that.
position.
Yeah.
But this one was definitely.
Yeah,
I told
I like
Shannon, I
that.
said round tables. This
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
We
yeah.
did the best we could with so many people, but that's
But
better.
the flow of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Better. But my classes have always been round tables
Yeah.
for the advanced levels. You know, because you got to work together, and it's
Yeah.
fun to work together
Yeah.
on cases.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good job.
Fun stuff.
Well, I'm happy to have had this talk
I've
again.
had
It's
this
always
talk
a lot
right
of
here.
fun.
Always
So,
a lot of fun.
kidney filtration, people. You know, change your diet, change your life, change your outlook,
and
Change the
have
world.
some friggin' fun.
Yeah, be
Enjoy
happy.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get attached to things. Don't
No.
lock yourself into
No.
journeys like this. Keep your journey free, and you'll have more and greater journeys.
Yeah, you know you can always do better, and you can always feel better. And this too shall pass. Shall pass, like
I
Osho
shall.
says.
This
Yeah,
shall too
this
shall pass.
Yeah, this shall
And remember
pass.
these two. Is it kind?
Is it
true?
true? Is it
And
necessary?
Is it really necessary? Love you guys.
Love you.
Namaste. May
Thank
the
you.
blessings be.
See you again.
Yep.
Love you.
You too.